Do you want fresh, vibrant produce without relying on expensive chemical fertilizers? Are you worried that composting at home will cause unpleasant odors or attract pests? Don't worry. The solution for your garden isn't found at a supply store, but right in your own home. With this odorless composting method, you can turn kitchen waste into black gold that helps improve soil aeration and leads to bountiful harvests. Let's get to work. Many people believe that composting is a dirty task filled with flies and stench. That is a complete misconception stemming from incorrect technical execution. Once you master the biochemical principles, the carbon-to-nitrogen ratio, aerobic ventilation mechanisms, and the role of indigenous microorganisms, you will find that composting is not only clean, but also a fascinating scientific process. In today's video, we will dive deep into every technical detail, from preparing the composting pit and constructing the composting bin to handling practical risk scenarios. Have your notebooks ready, as these insights will completely change the way you view waste and plant nutrition. Together, we will build a closed-loop ecosystem right at home. Why does compost smell? Before we begin, we need to understand the greatest enemy of composting: odor. Why does ordinary kitchen waste not smell too bad, but once placed in a composting bin, it reeks? The cause lies in an oxygen deficiency. In normal conditions, kitchen waste is broken down by aerobic bacteria, which require oxygen. They convert organic matter into CO2 and water, which are odorless. However, when you dump waste into an enclosed, airless space, anaerobic bacteria, which do not need oxygen, take over. This anaerobic decomposition process releases sulfur compounds, such as hydrogen sulfide, which has a rotten egg smell, and organic acids that emit a pungent, sour odor. Furthermore, an imbalance in material ratios also contributes to the odor. When you only add green waste, rich in nitrogen, without brown materials, rich in carbon, the waste mass becomes tightly packed, eliminating all air gaps and creating a swampy environment ideal for rot-causing bacteria to thrive. Another important reason is the presence of fats and animal proteins, components that are difficult to break down and create a barrier film that prevents gas exchange. Understanding this mechanism, you will realize that odorless composting is entirely within your control, provided we maintain a stable aerobic environment. Trench composting. Optimization for garden soil. For those fortunate enough to own garden space, vegetable patches, or fruit tree plots, trench composting is the ultimate choice for simplicity and effectiveness. Scientific principle. This method utilizes the natural odor filtering and decomposition capabilities of the earth. When waste is buried under a layer of soil, the clay particles and minerals in the soil completely absorb the gases generated during decomposition, absolutely preventing odors. Technical specifications. You need to dig a trench or pit 8 to 12 inches away from the tree base. The required depth is 12 to 15 inches, with a width of 8 to 10 inches. These are proven golden figures. If dug too shallow, the smell of decomposing food will escape. If too deep, decomposition will slow down due to a lack of oxygen. Implementation process. Collect waste such as vegetable peels, tea leaves, coffee grounds, and leftover fruit. Note: absolutely do not put fats, meat, fish, or cooked food high in oily grease into the composting pit. After adding the waste, use a shovel to chop it up right on the spot. The smaller the waste size, the larger the surface area for microorganisms to attack, and the faster the decomposition rate. Cover it back with a layer of soil 6 to 8 inches thick. This soil layer acts as a biological odor filter, trapping sulfur-containing compounds like ammonia or hydrogen sulfide deep underground, where indigenous bacteria will process them into organic nitrogen. Time and results. This process proceeds quietly over 4 to 6 weeks. During this time, the roots of nearby vegetables, tubers, or fruit trees will automatically sense the nutrient source and develop a network of feeder roots that crawl through the soil to fully absorb minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and trace elements in the most natural way. You don't need to laboriously apply fertilizer manually. Nature will do it for you. The 5-gallon bucket. Solution for small apartments. If you live in a condominium or a townhouse with only a balcony, don't worry. The oxygen circulating bucket method is for you. Preparation. Utilize an old 5-gallon paint bucket and clean it thoroughly. This is the ideal capacity for a family of 3 to 4 people for about 2 to 3 weeks. Technical improvements. Drill holes around the bucket wall. Hole diameter about 0.25 inches. Arrange 3 to 4 rows of holes, ensuring the bottom row is at least 2 inches from the bucket floor to store leachate and avoid dirtying your balcony floor. Golden ratio formula. This is the key to success. You must follow a ratio of 1 part green, kitchen waste, to 2 parts brown, shredded cardboard, dry leaves, newspaper. Brown materials act as sponges, helping to create air gaps and preventing an anaerobic environment, the main cause of odors and maggots. Operation process. Every day, after adding 1 part green waste, remember to add twice the amount of brown material. Important step. Every 2 days, use a small stick to poke from the top to the bottom and rotate it gently a few times in different locations within the bucket. This is a mechanical oxygen injection technique, helping to bring oxygen to the core of the bucket, stimulating aerobic bacteria to work. Monitoring. A proper compost mass will heat up. If the temperature reaches 110 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit after 48 hours, it proves that the decomposition process is occurring extremely strongly. Finished product. After about 4 to 6 weeks, when the bucket is full and the waste has decomposed, put the lid on and leave it for 2 weeks. The result you get is a crumbly, dark brown humus, smelling of forest soil, rich in nutrients for potted ornamental plants or clean vegetables on your balcony. Risk management and technical notes. To avoid mistakes that could ruin your composting bin or pit, you need to pay special attention and handle issues based on the following scientific bases. Fat and protein mistakes. This is the leading risk. Fats from meat, fish, chicken skin, or leftover grease when added to the composting bin immediately form a thin film covering other materials. This film has hydrophobic and air-insulating properties, causing oxygen exchange to be completely interrupted, thereby creating a prerequisite for anaerobic bacteria to thrive, releasing pungent, sour-smelling gases, and strongly attracting pests like rats, cockroaches, or flies. If you accidentally add them, don't throw everything away. Fix it by spreading an additional layer of wood ash or crushed charcoal about 2 inches thick over the surface of the compost mass. Wood ash and charcoal have excellent odor-absorbing capabilities and help neutralize organic acids arising from decomposition errors. Humidity and airflow control. The ideal humidity for compost ranges from 40% to 60%. To recognize this, wear gloves and grab a handful of compost, squeeze it tight. If only a few drops of water trickle through your fingers, it is standard. If it streams, it is too wet. And if it is crumbly, it is too dry. When the bucket is waterlogged, immediately add brown materials like shredded cardboard or dry leaves. These materials act as super sponges, absorbing excess water and creating air gaps, allowing oxygen to circulate freely inside the bucket. Forgetting to poke ventilation holes periodically every 2 days is also a common mistake that causes the compost bin to become anaerobic and start emitting odors like faulty fermented vinegar. Avoiding the nitrogen trap that weakens plants. This is top-tier knowledge that few gardeners know. This phenomenon occurs when you apply partially decomposed fertilizer, with too much carbon from cardboard that hasn't fully broken down, into the soil. At this point, microorganisms in the soil will have to mobilize all their energy to decompose that amount of carbon, inadvertently stealing the free nitrogen available in the soil from the plant roots, causing the plant to suffer temporary nutrient deficiency, leading to yellowing leaves and stunted growth. To avoid this, ensure the compost has transitioned into dark brown, crumbly humus, has completely lost the shape of old waste, and most importantly, no longer emits hot heat before applying it to any tree base. Once the compost reaches this state, it truly becomes a safe nutrient source, helping plant roots explode in productivity. Summary and call to action. We have gone through the entire scientific and practical roadmap to create clean, safe nutrition for plants. Composting kitchen waste is not merely a cost-saving solution for buying fertilizer, but more deeply, it is a civilized, responsible lifestyle. Each time you save vegetable peels or old cardboard scraps to compost, you are directly contributing to reducing the huge pressure on centralized landfills, preventing the emission of methane, one of the most toxic greenhouse gases, from anaerobic decomposition at landfill sites. That is how you return to Mother Earth what she has gifted us, creating a closed-loop nutrient cycle right in your own living space. Never consider waste as discardable. View them as precious raw materials waiting to be awakened through an understanding of biochemistry. The gardening journey does not need to be a grand project. It starts from your own meticulousness, from digging a 12-inch trench in the yard, or drilling oxygen-circulating ventilation holes in an old 5-gallon paint bucket. True sustainability is formed from small but conscious actions every day. Hopefully, with all the detailed technical knowledge and important notes shared, you are ready and confident to start executing today. Transform your balcony or garden space into a lush, fruit-bearing ecosystem with fertilizer made by your own hands. Will you choose the trench composting method or use a smart bucket? Leave your opinion in the comments section so we can exchange and share valuable practical experiences. If you find this information useful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this clip with fellow gardening enthusiasts. Turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming episodes in our zero-cost gardening secret sharing video series. Wishing your garden early lush growth and joy. Hello, and see you all in upcoming videos.